copyrights to any music, to the music that is playing. This early Sunday morning, I'm gonna try to get started. Just talk about some things that I see. Members know they can always go back and watch the videos later. Let's see what I can do. So, let me get my coffee. So, right now I got this lottery post pulled up. I want to go to the group wall for a minute. Just try to show some new members or even existing members how to navigate through the group page to look for things that help me every day, and I know they'll be able to help you. So no matter what state you play in, what state you live in, you can access this group wall, and you can just go to search and type in the numbers, whatever you're looking for. It's here. A lot of stuff can help you, and if I need to guide you to find it, or tag you in a post to find it, I'll do so. But as a new player or as a new member, just I have a lot of people. If I have a idea of what a state should play, I'm definitely gonna list the number and say the state. If I list the number and I know it's hot, it's coming soon, I haven't done any homework behind it to know what state is gonna get it. So a lot of times when you see my posts and it doesn't have a state listed, I'm pretty much just putting the information out there that the number's going to show soon. Sometimes it soon could be before I even get it typed good. Sometimes soon could be a week. Sometimes soon could be 5 days, 3 days later, 2 days later. So as a player, just, as you study the game, you got to look for those patterns for yourself to make sure that you're using your money wisely as far as the bets that you make for numbers to come, staying on numbers, etc., etc. We know how the game goes. So, me as a group leader, I know I would never get upset. If anybody hit a number that I don't, or if anybody hit a number that I gave them, or nobody hit a number that I gave everybody, it just, it's the game. It's another draw right after that. It's another draw the next day. So you don't have to go so hard and heavy at, that one draw that you get to play that day. So everybody got to keep that in mind. Whether you just starting to play today or you've been playing for 10, 20 years. Of course, the ones that's been playing for a long time know. Everybody know the game. If you've been in it a while. So right here, I just typed in the 771 for North Carolina. And I right underneath is a post from September 20th that had something about the 7-Eleven. I meant 7-Eleven. Had something about the 7-Eleven, but it doesn't show the rundown. I see right here in this area over here, that's not the rundown. That's showing some kind of It's a post about some followers. So I don't normally, when I'm coming to look for the 711, I wouldn't even look at this post. More than likely, I'm gonna try to go directly to the rundowns. But not saying that this post wouldn't help you, because it's showing the followers of the 228, which is in the add one rundown for that the 228 and 117. You know, that's just plus or minus to each other. So I'll scroll till I see something of this nature, which is the rundowns. The other is the followers. Like I tell everybody in the group, the followers come from the rundowns. So that's why they are important to me. I'll get into the pick four here in a little bit about the same thing that happened in Kentucky tonight, and show everybody the exact same thing that I seen and why I posted it, and show you exactly where you can go and find it, and you can see it, and you can post it. You can call the hits whenever you see these patterns hit the board. Like I said, I mean, we all know people have different lives, and people working, people not working, some people taking care of the kids, whatever it might be. Everybody is not always on the same time. People are doing stuff at their own pace and their own time. So I'm gonna look at this rundown anyway, just because I know people will go back and look at this video. So I pulled this rundown, and remember I typed in 711 because that's what North Carolina played. And just scanning through, I don't see the 711 exact number. I do see the the 711 mirror, which is the 266 and the 626. That's right here. If you watching in the beginning videos, you understand when I see numbers like this in the rundown, above and below 491, it shows as a direct link to that number. Now, just glancing at this rundown, you see in the typed out numbers that I have as links to the 469. Those numbers are typed out because of the yellow indicator and the green indicator in the rundown leads me to the 262, and the 464 leads me to the 846 in the 464 rundown. That's why I have 846 and 391 listed. 846 mirror is 391. 644 will lead you to the 262 in the 644 rundown. That's what the links are. And this is why I have 262 and 717 here. Now, if you see the first one I pointed out, when I was looking for the 711, I see 266, 626. This is why in lottery people tell you play the mate. If I see 266, sometimes they'll come with the 226. And it's because of the rundown. These mates, 266, 262, 711, 717, are mates to each other, and they're connected to the 991 and 446 rundown through this lottery math of the 235. So I hope you can understand that, because I don't know any other way to explain it. The math is the math. I didn't create this math. That was already created. I just made the rundowns complete and together every way the number can come to show you the blueprint to that number. Now, the rundowns I'm actually looking for is the 711 because that's what I typed in. But we don't have that kind of time in the day, especially if I'm at work. I don't have that kind of time to just keep scrolling until I find it. But if I do happen to see the rundown soon, like I scroll down just a little bit and I seen where South Carolina played the 050, 6801, 711, and the 9439 before. So I click on there to look at that 7-Eleven rundown. Now, I don't know if North Carolina, not looking at their history, I'm not sure if they played 200 or 557 recently. I know Ohio did. 317, 862. I think North Carolina played it, but it wasn't real recent, like last couple of days. 946, 941. I'm not sure when the last time we played one of those either. But this is the direct links coming from the 1-1 set, the 7-Eleven rundown. The direct links and links to a number usually always come from something on the 235 side. So it's like you see the repeat of the 711 and the 171. Now, that green indicator is what leads me to the 317 and the 171, 123 rundown. Don't get confused about the math. It's already done for you. The work is done. All we got to do is understand the connection to numbers that are being played, that are hitting. So don't get confused about the math. I don't never have to change it ever again. The math stays the same forever. All I do is enter in the number, which on the group wall, the picture is already there. If I was to use my file, then I just enter the number and it changes that way. You know, same thing if I were to type in the 117 now. I still see the 317, the 575, the 020, but I have to know this using the file. You know, for the group, giving the on the group wall, I'm giving that information to you. It's already typed out. Now everything else is what follows. If you know, if your state played 094 in some order, then you may want to consider looking at everything else in the rundown, because the reason why they played it 094 is connected to that number. Whether the mirror, the 599 or 044 show, it's just you have to make that type of you know, you got to backtrack to know what your state, you know, what patterns they're taking, what numbers should follow next from those patterns. So like I say, you can type in the number and you can search for it in the group wall, and you can get all types of information from just looking at the rundowns. Even if you haven't purchased the followers book yet, because to be honest, everybody knows that it's some stuff on the group wall using the followers, but I hardly ever, in the first 2 years, post the followers every day. I would always throw that rundown up and post it in the chat or whatever like that. I'll post the rundowns on the group wall, and I try to get people to really start, you know, get used to seeing them. But this year I decided to, make the followers book group by mirrors, so people can see it and understand the mirrors better, the connections to numbers. So this would a lot of the stuff I'm talking about has been talked about before. It's been in a few of the beginning, the videos, the introduction and the new member videos. But if you are a new member, or if you're just a member and don't remember this stuff, don't know where to look, a lot of things I look for in the daytime, which we know trips don't fall every day. We know quads don't fall every day. But I look for this post every day. I type in trip rundown 0 through 9. When I type in that right there, 0 through 9, it usually always pull up this post, trips rundown 0 through 9. So I go there and I check to see when certain numbers hit the board. I go to see what are good possibilities for trips to hit, whether it's the false trip or not. But this rundown, this trip 0 to trip 9 rundown is very useful and helpful to everybody. So if you're not looking at that stuff, you're really doing yourself a disservice with knowing the number game, with knowing the trips to follow and stuff. So that post is there for everybody to see. Same thing with the quad. I always type quad rundowns. It may not come up. I just was on it, so I could have left it where it was at, because it's right there. Quad rundown 0 through 9, right here. So I go here and I check to see numbers that has played and has hit the board, and I'll show you exactly why I made the post about Kentucky. I made the post 5 days ago, of course, but it was specifically targeted for them. Let me see. Let me log into the lottery post. Lottery post video is up on the group wall, and on the new member video, it shows you the login information if you don't have your own. So I'm gonna just click on Kentucky. Anybody in the group can do this. Anybody. And I'm not even sure if it really lined up perfect, but I knew they had made the triggers. The triggers really had started jumping. And if you look here, 99-17. The 99-17 played. I think that's, hold on. Is that when I made the post? I think I did make the post 5 days ago. So yeah, I was looking at last Monday, and I really expected, the day I made the post was on November the 2nd, which was that following Monday. Now the triggers happened almost 2 weeks prior. Now it could have been that they used 9637, 9321. Both of those numbers would also trigger the nines mirror, which will show you in the rundowns. In the followers, actually, you will see probably 9944 or 9994 in those followers. It still lets you know it's triggering that number. Whether it shows you a mirror in the followers or not, it's still triggering the nines and the fours. So you have to list all four, all five mirrors like I did for Kentucky. And I'll go back and I'll show you more. First number that caught my attention, like I said, was the 9917. I actually overlooked the 3445. I overlooked the 6785, and I overlooked the 4421. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 numbers I see within 2 weeks that actually triggered those nines to hit Kentucky. And I don't know if a lot of y'all can really follow along by knowing the mirrors, but I'm going to show you right here from the 9917 is why I saw that set good for Kentucky. This number right here was also a great indicator, but I evidently overlooked that number when it hit the board. I didn't see it or something like that. But we go back to the group wall, and we're going to look right here, this rundown. It's posted there. But I'm going to show you from the actual file. Let's see. Let me see if I can change that to nines. So once I change that to nines, I'm going to blow that up a little bit more, man. Let's see. Come on. Don't stall me now. There we go. Blow it up some more. What y'all see right there on the 2355 side, right underneath the nines. Right underneath the quad nines, if you look good, let me see. Anybody can do this now. I I mean, especially if you're looking at these rundowns. If you're looking at these rundowns, you can see right there the 1-2-4-4 hit, the 99-17 hit. That number actually came backwards. I think that one came backwards too. 8675 hit. That's three numbers that was, in direct connection to, not showing no mirrors or nothing. Three of them right there in direct connection to the the quad nines that they played. 9917, 4421, 6785. Now, it's up to you, up to me as a player, if that's my target and that's my state, to hold it. It don't matter what happened on Tuesday, the 27th. It don't matter what happened on Wednesday, the 28th, the 29th, the next day. It don't matter what numbers played in between then. If that's your target and you want to make money off of that number or off of those five numbers when one of them hit Kentucky, then you have to just, I would have to be disciplined enough to just play and hold the set until it came. Now, that's the part of the game where it takes that discipline to be smart enough to do that. You know what I'm saying? Not really saying, I didn't do it. So I'm not saying this to nothing, to down anybody else because I didn't do it. But that's what I got to do if I'm trying to really make some money off of the nines. If I'm really trying to make money off of any one of those that would hit the quad fours, the 4449, 9994, or 4499. You have to be able to stay focused on the target, on the state, and on the set of numbers, lock it out, and really make money off of it. And it can be done. We see it happen all the time. I hate to go back and talk about old posts and other stuff that I posted that came straight in the state. It's like Tennessee just played the 3-3-3-5 recently. I made a post about which states I thought could play the 3-3-3-5 and the 8-8-8-0. And I think it took about 10 days, but if that was a post, if I didn't know anything about the game and somebody was giving me 1-2 numbers to hold in my state, Tennessee preferably was on that list, I probably would play that number, those 1 or 2 numbers that was given, 50 cents, if anything, until they came. But as a player, and I know I've been there, we don't stay focused on numbers. You're walking in the store to play a number, somebody give you another number, then you lose track of everything. You have to definitely stay focused on what's at hand, what you really trying to make, the money, how you really trying to make money, and make it to where you don't keep playing with your money. You win, use their money to play with. The state had way more money to give out. Bet any got way more money to give out. If you just can hold it in there, hold that target whenever you see a target. Somebody give you something that that you can lock in on. You can see it. You can back check it for yourself. I'm pretty sure. I don't know if anybody checked this in my group because I posted in other groups, but in my group, I don't know if anybody back checked to see why I made the post about the 9-9-1-7 bringing the quad nines and quad fours. But it's there. It's possible for all of us to do it. It was there for any of us to go back and check to see, their patterns, to see what Kentucky had done. Even if you would have, went behind me and seen the other numbers and just made that clarification for yourself to make it even stronger set to hold for that state, is there. I don't take no credit at all for, like the work already being done. Like it's nothing. I can't keep taking new credit for. Okay, I mean the work is there. The workout is done. I can't. It's just like I said. I don't write nothing down but what I'm gonna play. The workouts are done for me through these files. So all I have to do is change the number. So what I would do to try to find the next quad for people that's looking for quads, you got to do your research for one to see the pattern of quads, what quads have been playing. You got to go back and check. You got to see. You got to go lottery post, or you search every state separately, or however you do it. You got to get in lottery post. You type in, just hit the quad button right there. All quads. It'll pop up all quads. And then you just research the history of them. You want to see exactly the pattern that's been going on with the quads. And everybody know in my group that I posted, I posted about ones, threes, fives, and I said I think eights, but I knew it had to be an even quad. An odd quad. I think I posted that after the sevens. It was one of those days between the 1st and the 7th, I think. But then yesterday morning, let me see. Let me go back. Yesterday morning at the Tennessee and Texas drop, and everybody in the group can do this. I've showed videos for this before. Let me go back to the home screen. It won't even let me click, man. How do I get back to home discussions? There we go. So on the home screen, yesterday, Tennessee and Texas numbers hit in the morning draw. Texas usually out by let's see, by 11 o'clock, I guess. And I think there was a post 18 hours ago. I thought I made another post, but I did. I made a different post in a different group, but this was Tennessee first number hit the board. Now, mind you, we got the rundowns. I just showed you the rundowns. You can go to the group wall and find all that information as far as the quad rundown. Save it if you can, but like me, I screenshot so many pictures about the file daily trying to post the rundowns or trying to post the followers that I can't always get back to it quick enough on my phone. So not through photos. Now I can go to the group wall instantly. I get on the group wall, I hit the little button. I got a little saved, what you call it, icon or app, whatever, for the group wall. I just click on that, it takes me right to it. I go right to search. I go right to trip rundown or quad rundown. I even check the false quads too. I type in false quad and it takes me to the false quad followers. Now, right here, Tennessee morning draw was 3363. Now, we already know it's getting close to Thanksgiving and Christmas. We know they're getting ready to drop some more quads. We know they're going to drop some more trips. We know it's that time of the year. We know that. So that's why in the mornings when Tennessee and Texas drop, I go right to Lottery Post and research their numbers to see if a quad played around it or with it, or if a trip played that day. And keep in mind, I'm looking for this number straight because I want to know the type of patterns that the lottery system is on that day. You know what I mean? I want to know exactly, why this number playing straight again. They played it straight before at some point. Sometimes it might be a number that never hit a state straight, but it played somewhere before straight. So I always use that to try to go look for when that number plays straight. And It's exactly what I did yesterday morning. Now, it wasn't the last time that the three is actually right there. I don't know if I can blow this up any bigger. I don't know when the last time that 3363 hit. I wasn't looking for the last time it hit. That wasn't the reason why I was doing research. I was looking for the time that it played with a quad. So that's why I went to this day. I seen that the 3363 had hit straight before in Maryland, and the nines fell in California that same day. So that's why I made this post yesterday about we may see quad nines return. That's the exact reason why I made this post. I made the post also in the Five Dimes Learning Facility, one of Corey groups, just to get other people's eyes on it, because I don't know any other Kentucky groups or any Pacific State groups. So I just put the information out there for for everybody. If you play all states, you play all states. If you play in Kentucky, it'd have been even great. But we didn't know where it was going to be for sure. But we knew Kentucky had made that trigger, and I made the post about Kentucky 5 days prior to this. So try your best to really be attentive to what's posted. Like, I'm really telling you how I get this stuff. I'm really showing you where to go, where you can look at it and find it yourself. It's always here. It's there. Like, you can do that at any point in time. If you up over the night, you up early morning or whatever. If you're free to do it, take advantage of it and do it. Because you really can make money doing this if you really put your mind to it. So, with that being said, that's how I went about the post yesterday morning to even see that the nines were possible to show. I actually went to, let me see if I can get this to scroll, minimize again. I went back. All I did was search. I knew if I'm okay, the sevens. I think that's what I did that morning. I think the sevens had already played, so I took the sevens out. I didn't want to see if the 363 had hit with the sevens, so I took the sevens out, and I just typed in a 3363 with all the other quads. I changed that to straight. I changed that to 100 to give me a full screen and all of available history. So I went to search. And as you can see, 3363 and the nines fell yesterday. I think it was in 2012 or something where I found that. But I don't get caught up into what's on this side when I'm scrolling through. To see it fast, I can't even remember what I was doing yesterday. I was doing something yesterday morning, probably feeding the puppies or something. I can't remember. But I don't get caught up in the looking at, when the 3363 hit over here. I just scroll down till I see dates. So when I see the dates are the same, that's when I stop and look. But you always see, instantly if that's Indiana hour, they're going to share the same number anyway. So I keep scrolling. I just scroll till I, get through. And if I see the same date, that's when I stop and look to see, okay, what that was. Or, even if I did all 6 pages that it offer, but you look at the bottom, it's only going to be 6 pages of quads every time you look until, more years, maybe 2025, it'll be 7 pages. But right now it's only 6 pages, even with adding that number to look. So I keep scrolling till I see a number where those numbers played on the same date. And I think it had to be somewhere in 2012. I think I saw it, if my memory is correct. But I don't. Hold on. Here we go. Maryland and California, February the 4th, 2012. Can y'all see that? Right here. Saturday. What was yesterday? Saturday? It's crazy, right? 336. Quad nines. It was Saturday when it happened. 2012. February 4th. So I can go back up here. I can go to February. I go to 2012, February the 4th. This is exact post. This is exactly how I found it yesterday. There go the nines in California. There go the 3363 in Maryland. That was my approach yesterday, right at the Tennessee draw. You know, when I had the time to really do it. I think I might have waited till after Texas showed before I did it, but that's how I went about seeing that the quad nines was possible to play, because they played the same day that the 3363 fell. Yesterday morning, Tennessee started the flow with what was going to happen. They played the number straight. All I did was go back and look, try to find a number straight, and I just see what played with it. You know, what played that day. What was the flow of the, the plays for Allstate. And this, I hope from this right here, people will understand from that happening yesterday, it's one system. I don't care if it's Arizona, Arkansas, Atlanta, Canada. I don't care what you see listed here. These gaming companies are using one system. One system. It ain't no different from my lottery machine here in North Carolina. Is no different from the one in South Carolina. It's no different from the one in Georgia, Florida. I mean, it might look different, have a different color. It might print out different patterns of tickets or something, but they use the same lottery system. They use the same rundowns. They use the same followers. They use it in every state, every country that has lottery. They use the same system. So not only you can go back and see it in history, that has a lot to do with how they changed the algorithm of, numbers falling in North Carolina or numbers falling in Kentucky. That has a lot to do with how the patterns are being changed because of that. However, they're able to change the algorithm. They can put the number anywhere, but it all lines up. It all makes sense. Once you go back and you track the numbers, once you go back and look at the patterns, once you go back and see the triggers, once you go back and see the followers, you see that these numbers are destined to hit, destined to come. It was meant to hit. It was meant to come. So you really gotta really study the game. For you to be sitting out here holding a number that ain't played or that ain't came in, saying 6 months. You can ride it, but you gotta really study the game to really know, how to invest into that. Because if you invest into it, where you really investing into it, you gotta make sure everything else can be cool, like, your bills at home, your car payment, all that stuff, your mortgage, your rent. You got to make sure you can maintain all that instead of going hard and investing in one thing that could really, you could have hit, 5 or 6 or 10 numbers in a month, but you was really invested in one, but it all depends on you, like your budget. Like, you really got to know exactly how much you can invest, and if you can veer off to play another number, or if you should, you just got to really think about that. It's no joke in this game, but it's there for you to be able to win it if you study it. If you study it, you follow these patterns, you can win it. I mean, it could be almost daily. I mean, I've seen 6, 7 draws in a row. I've seen, when people hit just 6, 7, 8 days in a row. I mean, it's there to be done. It's how much you're going to study and how much you're going to really stay in tune with the patterns that are really happening. Like I said, for the ones in my group that you can go back and you can check this stuff. You can use the research from Lottery Post. You can use the posts that I post. You can use all this information Like I said, you can save it to your phone or whatever, but like I said, I've had it in my phone when I first started the group, but I realized there's no way I could find it as quick as I needed to, other than going to the group wall. Like here, I'll just type in the false quad, and I'll try to find that that post, and then I may see some other posts where I've made some posts about false quads, and really, it could take me too long to find it. And it probably would discourage me even trying to look for the stuff if I can't find it that fast. So I try to remember those keywords like false quad is what I typed in over here in the top. And I look for the post. It's a similar post to this, but it's not. Yeah, this is it right here. Series, if you just remember the titles, you can type it in, quads and false quad like that, you'll find it. Quads and false quad, followers, triggers, bringers, preceded by, etc. So you guys know, all you got to do is find, you just find the numbers as they play. You make the connections. Like, I'm pretty sure since the nines has played, well, I showed you Kentucky played the 5, 6, 7, 8, which is the mirror to the 0, 1, 2, 3. 5, 6, 7, 8 is the mirror to that. So they played that number, and then they played the nines. It should trigger somebody to get the zeros or the fives. It don't always necessarily happen that way, and it could be 5, it could be 10 days, it could be 20 days before you see that again. But just know that that's in effect. Just because the nines and the 5, 6, 7, 8 played, it could trigger the zeros and the fives. All of this information is here. South Carolina played the 6661 tonight, and I'm pretty sure somebody played 0982 or 0937 or 04. Matter of fact, the 0487 hit. Let me see. I'm not sure exactly which state it is, but I can go back and look. 84. This is not the right date. Go back. I know that 8407 is hit. I've seen it somewhere. So it's like, throughout the day when numbers are being posted, like I'm seeing the results from numbers being posted that came out. I mean, I immediately sit there and think like, okay, because I can remember some of this stuff. I've seen it so much. I automatically think like, okay, that's a false quad bringer. It could trigger the quad. If I see a number, pick 3 number hit the board, like 360, I immediately think, okay, that can bring the false quad or the false trip or the trip for the 8s and 3s. So it makes sense when I see the 4s hit the board. I know this lottery system is just trying to get me to think 3s and try to run 3s everywhere, but they actually dropped the +1 off of the 3s and play the 4s. Even though we knew the 4s was coming, we already had a post up about the 4s coming. But this is what they do. You really have to know what numbers are being triggered. Let me see. I know that 8407 just played. There you go, right there. The Tennessee morning draw. They started that thing yesterday. That was Thursday morning. No, Friday morning. Friday morning, 8704 hit. If you look right here, that's the 0487. It still was leading you to one of the 2 numbers. So if I go to that rundown for that 1116, when I look at the 1116 rundown, I'm going to see the 8407 lead me to the 5,000. You look at that bottom row right there. Going across, you start seeing those same numbers, 0982. Where's the 84? 0487 is in the 1161 rundown. So when I type it in that way, I didn't type it in. 1611 rundown. When I type it in that way, you'll see right beside 0487 is the 5,000. So that's why in the followers, you see it this way. 5,000 follower is 0487. It's connected by 1116 and 6661. That number played in Tennessee. 6661 just hit South Carolina. So definitely I'm going to expect to see 5,000 or 5550 real soon because of this just happened. Now we know they've been holding 5550 out all states since like I want to say May or March. So you definitely got to keep all of that in mind of when you're doing your research, when you're studying your state. This tool, Lottery Post, is one of the best to really go back. I think it is the best to really go back and study a number for a state. So here I can check. I think I'm gonna have to take a break because I have to let my dog out. May the 22nd, 2020, 5055 last show. So it's definitely got to come back. It's coming somewhere soon. I will come back and do another video. Let me tend to this dog right quick, and I got some more good stuff to show everybody.